Nice. Hey guys, Sean Hammond with PremierGuitar.com. We're in Nashville, Tennessee at Summer NAMM 2018 talking to Paul from Epiphone. Paul, you guys have a really cool new guitar here.
Yes, sir. This is the 100th anniversary John Lee Hooker Zephyr. Zephyr outfit's going to come with a custom hard case. So the Zephyr was only produced for a few years, late 50s to maybe 62 or 63, and only 13 were made in this color in 1961. So this is a reproduction of John Lee Hooker's 1961 Zephyr, which he used throughout his career, mostly through the 60s and early 70s. And he actually stuck with Epiphone really through his whole career. He went to Sheraton Pros in the 70s and 80s. But he recorded with this and he played it live on stage, and this was modeled after one of the vintage 1961s that we had in our collection. So
now, have you guys ever had a Zephyr model in the line for the last few years? It's hard to, I can't really remember.
We have not. So this has actually been out of production since the early 60s. And it's going to be limited to 1,000 pieces.
That's pretty cool. Tell us about the pickups and all the other stuff.
So the pickups are Pro Bucker mini humbuckers. And the Pro Bucker series use original, the same magnets and the same alloy and the same pickup wire, magnetic wire, that was used in the late 50s and early 60s at Kalamazoo when Epiphone and Gibson first merged. So these are Pro Bucker mini humbuckers, and they're modeled somewhat in the looks by what were called New York pickups that were on the first generation of electric Epiphone guitars in the early 50s. And some of those transitioned to Gibson when Epiphone and Gibson merged. But these are mini humbuckers, which I especially like, and we especially like because they don't overpower. This is a hollow body, and sometimes if you have something that's a little too hot, you can't get a range of tone without feeding back, and that it's not the case with this. You can certainly get that honk if you want to, but you can get quite a nice, bright, clean, full sound without overloading your amp until you really want to.
Yeah, I mean, it's surprisingly thumpy for the middle position, but still open and bright, yeah.
And then if you want in the lower position, you can get it quite crunchy. And you have in other words, you have a lot of range with the volume with mini humbuckers. So for people who aren't familiar with those pickups, they're really great. They're a little heavier than single coils, but not as thick and as a humbucker.
Is this the first guitar that you guys have had these specific pickups in?
I believe that they are, yes. We've had the Pro Bucker humbuckers in our Les Pauls, and we have a new line of P90s, the Pro Bucker P90s, but this is the first, or the Pro P90s, I should say. These are the first mini humbuckers.
Cool. Can we hear the bridge pickup?
Sure. Whoopsie. Here we go. Bridge pickup.
Very nice. A couple other questions. Is it a maple body or?
This is a maple body, maple top.
Is it laminate or?
I believe so. And the color, the vintage natural, is really close to what we used to do in the early '60s. And there's several other of our archtop models that also have this color. But this is kind of a new color for Epiphone.
Cool. How about showing us?
It has a slight, it has that slight vintage tint to it, but it's still very new looking. And
show us the back. Cool. Nice.
There you go.
How much is this going to go for?
I'd be able to tell you shortly. I don't have that right in front of me at the moment.
Are you thinking it's?
They're going to be announced probably in August of this year and probably in stores by September. And it does come with a custom hard case.
Okay. Any idea if they're sort of a little under 1,000 range, or?
I think it's going to be around that range. Yes, sir.
Okay. Cool. You want to tell people where to go online to find out more about it?
Absolutely. Go to Epiphone.com and you can read all about it.
Cool. Thanks, guys. I'm Sean Hammond for PremierGuitar.com.